But I'd love to ask you this question. Why stop at being a humanitarian when you can be a possibilitarian? And as the quote goes by Norman Vincent Peale, no matter how dark things may seem or actually are, raise your sights and see possibilities. Always see them, for they are always there. And that's what it means to be a possibilitarian. So our next feature is about an eternal optimist who's doing great things with the global peace movement and uplifting communities. So I'd also love to ask you this next question. Are you ready to make the change? Do join the movement right now on the Overnight Show. And live in studio, I have the absolute pleasure of speaking to the Voice the Change founder, right here live in studio at Cape Talk. So please, let's all give a warm Cape Talk welcome to Aurelie Lemiere, international joy catalyst and coach at Brain Gym trainer and educational kinesiologist, an international artist performer and motivational speaker. Bonjour, how are you, Aurelie? Thank you and welcome.
Bonjour, I am fabulous. Happy to be here with the team. And exciting to be here.
And we're excited to have you here. It's quite a remarkable outcome with Voice the Change and all of the many events you've been having and just the journey when it comes to just the growth of the event and your own and personal growth with this as well. And speaking of which, let's start from the beginning. So can you take us through your journey, which has led you to pioneering Voice the Change? So were you involved in this from the beginning, or were there other things that you were also pursuing before this?
So how it started, actually, it's from being in nature by myself and meditating a whole day. The very next day I woke up and I started writing, and I didn't know what I was writing and at the time. And then I read again and I read again, and I'm like, wow, this looks like a message. And it seemed like a message to the world. And so I don't believe in coincidence. I think it was meant to be. I received this message, and the very next day was World Peace Day, and I felt the call or the need to share it, to share the message. And the message happened to be a song, and it transformed into this peaceful change song that I've been sharing in communities a bit all over, everywhere. And it started in South Africa, so at Platbos Forest. That's where I received the message of the song. Wow. Where they do the Green Pop Reforest Festival as well, which is an amazing festival, planting seeds. So this is where my seed was planted, and the song inspired the movement afterwards. And it's been amazing to bring people to learn the song on board and to launch the song and a crowdfunding campaign.
Wow, that is amazing. I love the fact, I was completely captivated by what you said when you said, and I'm a big believer in this as well, when it comes to comes to believing that there's no such thing as a coincidence. And the fact that it was World Peace Day the day after that, it's just married very well together. Everything just was falling into place at that moment. So you felt like this is it. This is where my heart is at, and this is what I need to do.
Completely.
Yes. And so how did you go about just with when it came to just the admin and getting Voice the Change out there? How was that process like for you? How did you find all of that?
So yeah, I must admit, I was actually, it's how I founded it was I had some support at the time. I had a coach from a mastermind program, Leneski, which really helped me as well. She guided me throughout the process of, why don't you start a crowdfunding campaign to get more people on board to join. But also the whole point of Voice the Change at the time was to get foundings to be able to go in disadvantaged communities or underprivileged communities, to be able to do joy sessions, empowerment sessions, and using singing, using various modalities like the Brain Gym, educational kinesiology, meditation and yoga. So using healing modalities to really empower and the people in the communities. But the singing was really empowering because everybody can connect to music and yeah, it's a powerful tool, music and singing.
Yes, so music is a powerful force. It definitely unites so many different people. It's just that it's a common element for change, for understanding. And as you're talking about music, I may ask you to sing the song for us a little bit later, just so that I've heard it's a beautiful song, and it definitely tugs at your heartstrings and makes you want to sing along. But I know that there are some listeners who are curious, and just to ensure that they they get to understand how powerful the song is. I think especially just towards the end of the conversation, we will definitely touch upon more of the music. Yes.
I guess I'm going to have to say the only condition is that you have to join me and sing with me, and all of us have to sing together.
Well, I'll be a good sport. I always am. So yes, it will be a pleasure. It will be an honor. Yes, I would love to. And now, when you're talking about just the whole process and having support, and along the way, sometimes when it comes to starting certain initiatives, we're always met with certain challenges. And what were those challenges for you, and how did you navigate those?
So definitely realize I really need a big team of people to help me promote, the sessions, to promote the campaign, especially the crowdfunding campaigns, to get people to support the project of, it's not just supporting the campaign, but there's also transport involved, marketing involved, and the people that join those rehearsals, they come from various communities. They need transport as well, and they need money to be able to get to those rehearsals. And this was one of the biggest big challenges, where a lot of the people struggle with the distance to come to rehearsals. So sometimes I actually go myself in township communities as well. And, I make the extra effort to bring my joy and happiness where it's needed, so that, we can really move forward together, like the song says.
Exactly. It's about moving forward and understanding everybody's needs. And also in regards to that, because so many of the people that you want to touch, the people that you want to impact, are those that live on the outskirts.
That's right.
So I love the fact that you actually, and you also encourage people to actually go out to those spaces, especially if they've been unexplored spaces.
Yes.
Meet up with these people, connect, and provide some sort of a change, and have that exchange. And, it just fosters unity, and also, any future relationships as well. So I think that's definitely a beautiful thing.
Yeah, definitely. And I really believe that connecting with people from all backgrounds and, from all historical background, cultural backgrounds, all different, like the song says.
Yes, and
it's all about, bringing a whole lot of communities together in oneness and in unity.
Exactly. And the thing is, as much as we have certain differences, as you may have pointed out, whether it's cultural or whatever, linguistic, whatever the case may be, we always have this, we always have one or two things in common, and we'll actually be quite surprised at the commonalities, and that's exactly where the unifying begins, and it's lovely to see that all just works out so beautifully.
I would say humanity is what brings us together.
Yes, humanity. Yes,
Let's
of course.
be more human and kind, and come
exactly.
together as humankind.
Yes, because at the end of it, that's what it's about. It's about our humanity, and it's about embracing our humanity and living by it every day. And, just always being instruments of that as well, and which you have definitely been, and you've been a shining example of that. And I also understand that, it's you also, like you said, you work with a team. So you also have some facilitators. Could you tell us more about them and maybe, why you also chose to work with them, and, what in them probably also inspires you, just to do what you do?
So the facilitators, I usually work with people or co-create workshops that are on the same kind of mindset or have similar tools to bring to people, because we really want to bring upliftment and empowerment and really help people to be the masters of their life, so that they can really move forward in their life. But it's the workshops are basically leadership development workshops, and workshops that will help you assist in huge transformation in a positive way. It can be sessions that will also help you to gain confidence, self-worth, and really connect with yourself, so that you can remember who you really are. Because we have kind of lost touch of who we are in the world we live in today.
Absolutely. We're so distracted by, when it comes to certain, certain daily distractions, like technology, for instance, or just the fact that there's just so much busyness with all that we have to achieve and just get done. But, so it's inspiring that we actually need to take it back to the source, and to actually take it back to this place where it's about us working together. It's Yes, and building upon
Exactly,
our
this
collective
is key.
humanity. Yes, it's absolutely
This is key.
It's absolutely key. And it's always, I mean, when it comes to these things, of course, it's always important when you are on the same page with the people that you are working with. I mean, they also just inspire you to see life in a different way. And when it comes to exploring just certain, just different facets, they definitely are instrumental in helping you do that. So, I mean, I'm sure it's definitely been quite eye-opening as well, some of the things that you've experienced yourself, you know?
It is very inspiring, and especially it makes you realize you're not alone on this journey of wanting to really make a difference in the world. I mean, I know I've learned through this journey actually that the change starts within me first. And once I change, you know,
Yes.
what's not working with me, you know, and in my my inner state, then I can see, you know, it reflects out in my outer world.
And, you know, it's funny that, and you know, as you're mentioning that, it's funny that you mention that because, you know, it definitely always starts with you, and it's never an easy thing to be introspective. And because, I mean, you do have to, it's you know, it's never comfortable looking at at your flaws and what you need to work on, because also it makes you realize, especially being part of Voice the Change, that it's bigger than you. You know, it's you have a purpose to serve, and just also it carries that message. It's parallel to that whole message in life that everything you do is always bigger than you. It's never just about you. So you always have to ensure that you know, your purpose, well, that your focus always remains with the whole thing of purpose and serving. And also that's right. What I love about Voice the Change. It's with serving the communities. And, you know, speaking of which, I mean, I'm looking at your Facebook page. You have had so many successful events. And one of the ones that I would definitely love to touch upon is the one that's coming up in May, the Art of Allowing. So I'm very curious to hear about that. Why did you feel that there was a need for this workshop? What's it all about?
So it's really to experience, it's an invitation actually to experience success with some tools and very powerful activities that allow your life to flow with abundance, but also trust that your life actually your life is actually unfolding as perfectly, because we always have doubts sometimes. And this is basically, you know, bringing the awareness, around your life unfolding perfectly and trusting that your life is exactly where it's meant to be. And also, so in this workshop, we're going to explore the goals and dreams that the participants want to achieve, and how to be true to ourselves with authenticity, which means, you know, we have to stop at some stage to be a people pleaser. We have to be true to ourselves, to honor our own desires. So this is what we mean. This is what I mean, actually, being true to myself with authenticity is what do I really actually want? You know, and for me, this is important to, like you say, live with purpose, but also honor your inner desires. You know, maybe something that you've always wanted to do as a little girl or, you know, as a child.
Yes.
Like, so for me, I always loved singing and dancing. And most of my life, I didn't honor that because I had too much negative conditioning, negative belief systems that I needed to shift, negative thought patterns that I'm not good enough, or I didn't think, I was good enough to do this. And of course, I had so much doubts that prevented me to do it. So, you know, as I stepped into all the training that I've done now, I'm so grateful to have done so much, because now I've got the tools to really succeed and do what I love with my life, you know, and be the master of my life. So that's what we want to also explore and share in that workshop, and also learn about the art of knowing and deliberate creation, and how we're going to apply these practical tools and processes to achieve that success that we really want. Doing what we love.
And that's, I mean, this is speaking to so many of our listeners, because like you're saying, you know, people's voices are silenced, or they're conditioned in such a way that they feel that is not possible, and they're limited to this box that they're supposed to just fit in. You're supposed to, do this, or just like have this, not to say there's nothing wrong with the 9 to 5. Of course, we all have to work and we all need to eat, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But, you know, the whole thing about how when we neglect that inner voice, and at some point it just keeps on knocking, because something in you just says, hey, listen here, you need to honor me. That's why you're here. And you can't ignore that voice anymore. So I think this is definitely beneficial for people who are experiencing that at the moment. And also something that, I don't know, you may or may not agree, but there's been a shift of sorts when it comes to how I think maybe there is some movement that's happening, tacit movement, where people are pursuing their career interests, things that they've always wanted to do. People have resigned from work, or it's the season of change. So
Definitely.
I don't know, do you agree that that's
Totally.
happening? Yes,
totally.
yes.
And I do believe that we have choices to make those changes. We can choose to make those changes. It's really up to us, to want to change and make that change. I mean, for me, all the changes I've done in my life, I have actually chosen, I've decided, okay, this is not working. I need to change. And so this is how Voice the Change, the name actually was born, is that I believe that change is constant. We change all the time, and in order to evolve and grow as human beings, it's part of human nature, and everything changes all the time. Such as the cycles of life and death. If you take a seed or a child, for example, and watch it grow, you'll see it constantly changes.
True. Yes, it is.
And so,
yes.
yes.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go right ahead. Yes.
So yeah, I believe we need to voice what we would like to see changing in ourselves in an authentic way. And when we do this, like I said earlier, the world around us start changing as well. And I've noticed a lot of shifts, especially in my close relatives, like my family and even friends, that, by me changing, I can see it inspires others to want to do the same.
And it does have that ripple effect, doesn't it?
It is.
And I think that's also part of the whole natural process, because the thing is, as a human race, we are interdependent. So we're all meant to just inspire each other at certain points. And that's why I think there's just this huge wave, this huge shift of change. And it's refreshing as well, because so many of us, even though we may not necessarily have as many changes as the person next to us, it also allows us to do some introspection of our own, and we need to just examine if our lives are where they need to be. So I think this workshop is brilliant for that. Yes. And
Definitely.
yes, and yes. Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a life transforming workshop for people who are ready to take their life to the next level. So that's actually what I suggested on the event. When Voice the Change meets the art of change, be ready to take your life to the next level.
Exactly.
And again, it's not coincidence or that I'm meeting a lady who has a business called The Art of Change.
Exactly. No such thing as coincidence.
And we've never met before.
Yes. Exactly. And there you have it. There it is. Things just fall into place. They're meant to happen when they are supposed to happen. And when it comes to just, cause your workshops involve quite a few, maybe some healing exercises or, things to that degree where it's about being silent and, being introspective and looking in. So when it comes to this specific event as well, just when it comes to the art of allowing, can you actually walk us through just a typical day, a typical day of this event? What can people expect from beginning to end? What will it involve?
So yeah, it's also gonna be around full present moment awareness, and how you are feeling in the present moment. So you'll be taken through processes, about for example a goal. If a goal works for you, like okay, let's take for example an affirmation. I love and accept myself. And how does it feel for you? If you think of this goal, I love and accept myself, how does it feel in your body? Does it feel that it's integrated, or does it feel that it need maybe more integration? How much do you actually love yourself and accept yourself for who you are? So it's just one example of a goal that we may want to explore and just integrate on a deeper level. And so we will use different tools and activities to integrate, participants' goals or any areas that they want to change or improve. So it's going to be really profound, integrating positive affirmations and goals on a very deep level, so that we can actually see the changes in our lives.
And that's the thing. I think also, like what you mentioned earlier, you have to be ready. People have to be open to it.
That's right. To receive this gift.
Yes, it's a gift, and it's being open, receiving, and not being afraid of the answer that comes to you when you are in this stage, and just also being meditative. And I love the whole concept behind this. And then there are people who'll be wanting to know about just all the particulars, when it's happening, what the cost is, or just should I rather say the investment for your well-being. Let's put it that way. And also if they happen to be, because look, I won't lie, I'm a bargain hunter myself, so there'll always be the question about the early bird specials. So if you could just let us know about when this is happening, where is it going to be held, and all the days and all of those particulars, if you have the information.
So that's particular workshop. You have all the details on the Facebook event. It's the Friday and the Saturday, 18 and 19, and then we have a completion day on the following Wednesday, which would be, I think, the 23rd of May. Yeah, and then the early bird special is 3,250 rand, and so it's until the 13th of May.
And yes, is there a deposit involved also? Is there anything? Okay,
yes. So we'll give all these details when the people register
so
online. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
They can register directly on the email address that's on the Facebook event, or if we can mention the email address.
Yes, you're more than welcome to. Yes.
So it's aureliebraingym@gmail.com, or there's also my other email, aurelie@voicethechange.co. So if you really feel the call for life transformation, now is the time to register at aureliebraingym@gmail.com.
And funny enough, I think there actually are some listeners right now who may have been having an epiphany of sorts just listening to this. And like
wonderful.
Said, there's no such thing as a coincidence. So this
that is the purpose
in this hour. And before we continue with the discussion about Voice the Change, I would love to also introduce, I would actually love to just welcome our listeners, rather, the ones who have just joined us. This is the Overnight Show. You are listening to Cape Talk. And live in studio, we have the Voice the Change pioneer, Aurelie Lemiere. And she wears many hats. Quite a remarkable lady, the eternal optimist. She's the international joy catalyst. She's also a catalyst and coach for Brain Gym, a Brain Gym trainer, educational kinesiologist, international artist performer, and motivational speaker. And now, I'm just impressed at the many hats that she wears. And, I was quite intrigued. I wanted to find out, and I'm sure many of our listeners, when they heard the word artist, many of them were thinking, okay, what does it mean to be a artist? What is a artist?
Yes. That's a great question. It means that I do everything I do from the heart, and I always follow my heart to basically do what I love the most in my life. So if I want to be singing, I'm going to organize singing events so that I can share my voice. And if I want to dance, then I will organize dancing events so that people can join me in the dance, or whatever I feel in the moment. So that's what I mean by being true to your feelings and honoring yourself and your feelings. You create your reality. You create those events that will make you the happiest in your life. So you actually invite people to join you in your happiness.
And I must say, happiness, it's contagious, and I love it because it's how many people you are impacting with what you're doing from the heart. And, we're living in a completely different age. It's not like our parents who, were told and were from the blue collar generation, and they were told that you had to just work to to keep a roof over your head and have food on the table, which of course is definitely important in this day and age, especially if you have a family to support. But I think, because we're in a different age where it's about embracing our talents and capitalizing off of those, because also we're also meant to be blessed for the contributions that we make, but most importantly, we're meant to bless others with those contributions.
Those gifts.
Yes, those gifts.
Share those gifts
and share them from the heart. Yeah.
Totally. We have so many hidden talents, and in South Africa, since I've arrived here 7 years ago, I've seen so many talents. And yes, they are slowly but surely, coming out and, showing their lights. But a lot of them are still in the darkness, hiding from the public.
Yes.
I also feel it's important actually to start sharing our gifts, because otherwise how people would know about it,
True.
Like, I know that a lot of people listening now have many gifts, many talents to share, and we want to hear and see you. So you need to get out.
Exactly.
We want to see your beautiful gifts and talents. And I think there's beauty as well in co-creation. We can create so many beautiful things. And I think this is also part of voicing the change, a positive change, because Voice the Change is also about impacting people's life positively throughout what we do. So I also do, soul song circles. So if you feel like, finding your inner voice, especially, finding that light and love that you have within yourself through sound and music. This is what happens in the soul song circles. You actually expand yourself, heal yourself through sound. So that's what those soul song circles are about. So you can also find these events on the Facebook page, Voice the Change. And then there's there's also another workshop coming up, The Art of Succeeding at School and in Life. So that's also a workshop for teens, and that's planned for the 12th of May. But the flyers, all this information is on Voice to Change Facebook page.
Oh, perfect. And, I see you've got, it's quite a wide age group that you cater to. So
I work with all age groups.
With all age groups. That's even better, even fantastic. So, even trying to also work with younger children as young as 6 or 7, you're definitely just broadening their minds. And it's a beautiful thing because you're also letting them know that, when you're in this world, some of them may already want to know what they want to be and what they want to become, but just encouraging that and nurturing that is just a beautiful thing, and letting them know that there's a reason why you are an individual. You've got something special to contribute. So you also do the same for all of these the workshops that you also host as well. So, and I think that's amazing. And now, speaking of the past events, I see that there was an Earth Day meditation that happened, as well as the gratitude for Mother Earth, and gratitude for Mother Earth. How was that received? How was that event?
So those events are also online events where we actually co-create with light workers of the world, or people who are really ready to bring the light into the world. And we organize online events so that everyone can join, actually. And it's free, and it's usually we do a meditation. So I also do online meditation circles for everyone who is interested to meditate, because for me, it really helps to bring peace of mind and really and focus. It helps in so many ways. Meditation is a powerful tool to really bring inner peace and clarity on your life purpose as well. So all these online events, like, Gratitude for Mother Earth is also honoring, our dear Earth that we often neglect as well. Yeah. And she is also supporting us. So we need to also show our love to Mother Earth and nourish and shower her with love more than she showers us with love.
With love, and also showering us with many just many features that we maybe have overused. So we need we need to pour back into that, and also give more of that. And it's a collective responsibility to do so. So
totally,
yes. And so it's definitely awesome to have a workshop such as that, and one that's online, which is even better, because so many people always, there's certain things that they want to partake in, but maybe their pockets may not be in agreement with them. So having that option is just just brilliant, because it
or
thinks
transport.
Of this. Yes, or transport. Exactly.
Transport.
Yes.
Online now it's amazing to be able to attend an event online. You don't even have to go anywhere, drive anywhere, for people who don't have cars or transport. Exactly. So we're making it more accessible that way to more people who wants to join and feel better, increase their well-being and.
Yes, and it just you've thought about everything and how to address that, and you've definitely done that very well, and you are catering to the community, which is what this is all about.
Thank you.
And then it's a pleasure. And then also I understand that you've also actually went home recently to your home country, to France, and you've also had a chance to just spread the word and voice the change back home. So how was that, and how did that journey pan out?
It was quite amazing, actually, to be able to play my French accordion in Paris for the first time.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yes.
Yeah, and this is where I first performed the song "Peaceful Change" as well, for the change in Paris. So it was quite amazing, actually, to bring this gift everywhere. And I've also been in Indonesia last year, in Bali, to also start spreading Voice to Change, globally, because it started in South Africa. That's where the seed was planted, but now it's growing organically. And as I'm traveling around to share these powerful healing tools and the singing circles, for example, I travel around the world to also, bring my light a bit everywhere and plant the seeds in different locations.
Yes. And they say there's always power in planting a seed, Yes. And, and when you plant a seed, you don't know how people will actually respond to it. But the thing is, if it's planted with positivity, then
love.
Most importantly,
and
because
love.
You are working from the heart, you're doing this from the heart. And could you tell us more about your adventures in Indonesia and, spreading Voice the Change there?
Yeah, I had a very amazing experience, actually, in Bali, Indonesia. I offered a joy session, leadership session with college students there, and they were really open to receive these powerful tools. And And they learned a song as well within the workshop. They learned a song. They learned powerful tools that will help them as well move forward in their life. And they can use these tools on a daily basis to help them deal with stressful situations. A lot of them were also from underprivileged community. So it was really a nice gift for them to receive these tools that they can apply, to deal with stressful situations or even with emotion, like sometimes we often get overwhelmed with negative emotions that we get caught on,
yes,
in our daily life. So it's tools that helps them also deal with these emotions and with especially stressful situations. And also how to, enhance your creativity, your creative skills. So when I use the brain gym, it really helps with all your learning skills as well. So it helps you to succeed at tests and exams. And that's why I really want to share these tools, because I never had these tools when I was a child.
Yes.
And so when I discovered that, I was telling myself, I wish I had that when I was a child. I never had these tools. So, which is why it's making me want to share even more what I never had.
And I think that's the gift that we need to keep on giving to future generations. The fact that whilst we're on this journey of discovery, we are making discoveries that will best benefit them, so
That's
that
right.
they're able to, follow their voice and follow their heart. So to have those tools in place, I think it's absolutely brilliant. And also it's just also veers away from the whole conventional way of learning. It's refreshing. It's an alternative way, and of course, it's most importantly, you are using your mind as well as using your heart, and both a balanced way to do what you want to do.
Yeah, definitely. And I think most of the workshop is to actually integrate mind, body, and soul, so that we are really aligned with truth. This is very important. And I mean, maybe some people might not know what it means, but once you come to a workshop, you'll experience what it is to be aligned with mind, body, and soul.
And that's the thing. I think because when it comes to certain workshops, I think people want to, research and find out. And those people who always love to be prepared, but they must just let the process happen. And it's not about knowing all the answers. It's about accepting and just being open.
And hearing the calling.
Yes, exactly.
The inner calling, Hear the calling. If you really feel the desire to change something that's no longer working for you, now it's the time,
Yes, exactly. It's time to answer to that call. Absolutely. And now
I learned as well that it's better to do today, than wait till tomorrow, what you can actually do today. And I learned it the hard way.
No, and the thing is, as long as you are still alive, the great thing about that is that you're still alive, you're still living your purpose, and you're still living from the heart. And not many people can actually say that right now, because tomorrow is never really guaranteed. You just never know. So, we always pray that we can answer the call. And I mean, this is a journey. So that's the other thing. I think it's also that thing of how we also need to be, I know there's so many, we have so many, ambitions, but in the same vein, we also need to be gentle with ourselves. So we're also on this journey of discovery. So we don't need to know anything, but we just need to be open. Like, we don't need to know every single thing. Yeah.
But it's also important to be willing to remove blocks that no longer serves us,
Yes.
or certain things that no longer serve us, I think that's important. And there's no age, actually. There's no age. We can actually change and do something we love at any age. I mean, I've seen 80-year-old women starting playing guitar. I mean, this is so inspiring.
Exactly.
Or even surfing.
Yes, it's never too late. And there's always that.
I'll be probably that lady at 80 years old.
And be that lady, please. You'll be an inspiration for somebody. I'm telling you. I mean, I actually even thought about. It was quite a while. It was a couple of years ago. Actually, I think I was still a child, but I was quite amazed at it. These two sisters, African American sisters from the US, both in their 80s, and they were still practicing ballet, and they were just so limber and agile. And I just thought to myself, wow. This is so inspiring. I think I was only probably 9 or 10 when I saw this. And I thought, at any age, there is no specific age you have to do something by. Our journeys are different, and they're different for a reason. And nothing is really age specific. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So that's just brilliant. And I saw something on your website talking about giving 3 minutes, about 3 minutes to give back. Can you tell us more about that and how we can give back within those 3 minutes?
So yeah, this is about basically donating a any session. So it's, if you go on the website voicethechange.co, and how to get involved, you have an opportunity in 3 minutes to donate for a joy session or workshop towards people who actually would love to benefit from this session. So it can be a circle, a singing circle, a drum circle, it can be a joy session, leadership session, or brain gym program, 8-week program. So I'm looking for sponsors who can sponsor that in, so that I can do this work in underprivileged communities or where it's really needed. And I mean, this is the whole point. And as I actually do more and more events like concerts and things like that, I know that the donations, or even during the donation during the song circles, also go towards, making Voice the Change grow as a movement as well, so that I can go and do more.
Yes.
Love work. Because that's what I love doing.
I love
spreading
that.
The joy, the love, the peace.
Yes. And that's what we must keep on doing, spreading peace and positivity. And you are doing that through song. Speaking of which, the song, I do believe it's time for us to warm up our vocal cords. So I don't know if if you also want to sing sing at home, please do join in. Or if you're in your car, you're more than welcome to. So we are going to be singing the official anthem of Voice the Change. And what is the anthem called? Or just
the song.
The song,
yes. The song is called Peaceful Change,
yes.
And so far it's been sung in French, English, and Xhosa. And on Human Rights Day, we some youth, actually amazing youth performers, sang it in Afrikaans for the first time, and I'm hoping to have it translated in more languages.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So the song is growing, and there's new version for the song. So it's really going to be beautiful. So I really look forward to have it out. But are you ready to join me?
Oh, shall I don't know if Malibongo is
wherever you are.
He's bowing out of this one, so it's okay. I'll do it for the team. Yes, I'll represent. So just please do teach us the song. The floor is yours, or should I rather say the stage is yours.
Thank you.
Yes.
So wherever you are right now, I invite you to join us here at Cape Talk. It's amazing to be around this team. They're a beautiful, optimistic, positive team as well. So I'm really blessed to be here tonight.
Thank you so much.
And let's do it.
Yes. Okay. So I think, do you want to just sing the song and then I'll join you the second time round, or how would you like to just to also refresh my memory so that I get the words?
So I can share the words first. Then it's very easy.
Okay.
So you say 4 times, we love and forgive you. 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 And then 2 times. Yes. Let's move forward together, together. Let's move forward together, together.
Okay.
And then it's let's see a peaceful change in our world. Let's be the loving change in our world. Let's move forward together, together. Let's move forward together, together. And then it's we count on you because me, you, us, all one big family. So let's hold hands together in this journey called life.
Oh,
let's
wow.
make this future brighter together, where we all live in peace, harmony, equality. No matter our color, or race, or religion, or culture, or past, or social conditions, no matter our beliefs, we are one. We are because together we love and forgive you. 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 Let's move forward together, together. Let's move forward together.
That is fantastic. Oh wow, my goodness, it's such a beautifully written song. Did you write that yourself, and who else contributed to the melody, and who?
So I've had a lot of musicians contributing to the melody so far. People, amazing musicians, creating the harmony. I mean the backing track. I had different versions so far. Amazing musician. Walter Sparehart, and yes. I have now also Alex Baker, who is helping me with the backing track, a beautiful putting instrument together. So yeah, let's see how the music keep growing and changing organically, and as it should, and
Absolutely.
it's beautiful.
And changing organically through different types of collaborations.
That's right.
Yes, yeah. And it's always about adding different ideas so you have a beautiful end product. And I know some of you who may have tuned in might have been slightly confused. This is still the Cape Talk. We still talk radio station, but we just had to share this song with you. This is the song for Voice the Change, a lovely initiative that uplifts and empowers communities, and it's about also just exploring our humanity, building upon that, and also just co-creating and collaborating. It's just something beautiful, being a beacon of change and spreading positivity with the gifts that you have. And speaking of just spreading the positivity and continuing to do so, how does Voice the Change plan on making more changes? What can we look out for aside from the events that you've mentioned? But what else will be happening for the remainder of the year?
So yeah, what I was mentioning earlier, I think I'm getting very excited how it's taking shape, because I'm hoping to have the song finally produced, hopefully before the end of the year, produced and out, so that the whole world can actually finally hear the song. Because it's nice to share it in communities, but it's nice to have also a platform to play the song, so that the song can be shared worldwide, globally. On a global level, and more people can share it as well that way. Because
this is actually a global peace movement. It's about spreading this message beyond our own borders. And with the many tools that we have, aside from the healing tools and the other powerful tools that you use, we have social media. We have, there's just so many ways in which we can continue to spread this message. Yes. And, when it comes to just all of the information for Voice the Change, just to remind our listeners, especially those who may have joined in mid-song, where can people find more information about Voice the Change, all of the events, and just how can they get involved, especially as people who want to collaborate or people who also want to donate and sponsorship? How can they do that?
Okay, so the best place to go for donation is the website voicethechange.co, where people can choose where they want to donate and towards what, and also obviously attending the workshop, participating in the events, the workshops, and they can find that on the Instagram, Voice the Change page, on the Facebook page. I've got a group page, Voice the Change, and I also have the community page, so Voice the Change. So there's two pages. There's a group and there's a community page, Voice the Change, on Facebook, which is a great social media platform as well. So, and then LinkedIn as well. I'm also on LinkedIn. Twitter, I Voice the Change on Twitter. So these are all the platforms I use to share about the upcoming events and workshops where people can join and attend and register and join the positive change to make this difference in the world.
Well, I do believe, especially with the song that we just sang not too long ago, that we've inspired quite a few of our listeners to be the change, to become that voice, and to join the global movement, and to just continue with it so that it carries on gaining momentum and having positive, impactful change, because it's about spreading happiness and spreading love. Aurelie, I would just love to say merci beaucoup. Thank you for joining us in studio. I hope that sounded okay. I tried.
It was perfect. Parfait.
Merci. And I definitely would love to see exactly what else happens with Voice the Change, and do continue using that voice.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me tonight.
It is